Well, you guys, it's happening. We knew eventually that China was going to show their hand because are they the biggest fans of Trump? We know they're not. They have one thing they want to do, and that's world domination. Now, people think it's from a communistic standpoint, they want to turn everybody to communism. No, they just want to dominate like we are. And they have seen because their economy is bad. No other way to put it. They have been in a recession for almost 2 years now, and it looks like it is nowhere in sight that their economy is going to grow. They actually got to bail out them own selves, right? They had the largest mortgage company default. Think about we had our largest mortgage company. Our largest mortgage company is Rocket Mortgage today. Think if Rocket Mortgage, who services or did loans for 11% of all houses here in the US, went under, defaulted. How crazy that would be. Well, that happened with Evergreen Bank, the largest mortgage company in China. So China, there's some trouble. So they have to find a way to have that pendulum swing, right? You know, you're in a seesaw, right? Seesaw goes up, seesaw goes down. Depending on what weight you have, it makes the pendulum or the seesaw go up or it makes it go down. But right now, the US, because of things we've done and why China is so bad right now economically, we're here, right? We got all the weight, we got all the leverage, we got all the power. We were first as a, well, not first, but the biggest country to adopt Bitcoin. We're going to have that Bitcoin reserve fund. There might be some XRP and other coins in it as well, but we are very close to getting a reserve fund like we have gold reserve and oil reserve. So that's going to help the US economy from a power standpoint. So China has to find a way to get it back. Right now, 3, 4 years ago, really before COVID, the pendulum wasn't swinging, but we ain't have all the weight. I push rhymes like Wade, yay, yay. My Ice Cube and Dub C fans out there. But we now got all the weight. We have all the power. And for whatever reason, things under President Biden got better for the US. Now, the economy wasn't the best in the world, right? Some people say it was, some people say it wasn't. We're not here to talk about that. But we got our power and our mojo back. So China has to find a way. And they've been thinking about it, being strategic, thinking about how they can manipulate our stock market and tap into the biggest driver of our economy over the next few years, which is tech. And tech is the future. They know that. We know that. The whole world knows that. And what drives tech? Chips. And we put a lot of money in American companies from a chip standpoint. We did pass the CHIPS Act, right? $500 billion would it be to different chip companies? A lot of money. Also, we are going out our way to say, hey, China, stay away from Taiwan because Taiwan Semiconductors is a stock that we think we could take advantage of because they're an ally. And them being an ally, guess what happens? When Taiwan Semiconductor moves all that intellectual property here, which they've kind of done already in Austin, Texas, we're going to make money because of that. And it is a way for us to have more power. And we all know the name of the game, right? 50 laws, power. And how do you obtain power? It's not by pissing people off. It's about having allies, strategic allies. And Taiwan is a strategic ally. China knows that. And China does not want to go to war with us. They do not want to do that because they know we will win. They see how we're helping Ukraine, this small little old country, beating, defeating, defending, was supposed to be the third best army in the world in Russia. So they're seeing that. And they're seeing that even though we're not even putting troops to the ground, we've done an amazing job stopping them. Now, I'm not trying to get political, not saying that we should be spending all that money, but power is power. So, what did China do? China said, you know what? We need to find a way to get back on that lever. We need to get some of this power back. So, what did they do? They today manipulated the stock market. How did they do that? How did they manipulate the stock market? What did they do exactly? Because the market went down by over 3.5% today. A very, very bad day. Well, they were smart and strategic. Look at this. 3 ways to manipulate. Number 1, they made an announcement after TikTok. They've already been upset because President Trump, a few years ago before he left office, said we need to ban TikTok. It's funny. He says we need to ban TikTok. And now when you're on TikTok a few days ago, it said President Trump is working to get this fixed. He bans it, and it's going to take all the credit. So now all the data, right, that the Chinese companies were getting, not no more. So they have to find a way to continue to get our data to see how they can seize power from us, which we'll talk about. Because yes, they are doing this as a power shift. You know, in China, you can't even get on TikTok. Not at all. You get on the kids' version of TikTok, but you know what they're showing? They ain't showing dances all in the video. They showing engineers, astronauts, how to do algorithms, how to use technology, how to do engineering, how to design and build things. While we, stupid Americans, we dancing all the time, trying to do the ice bucket challenge for the second time. That's what we're doing. So they know the data is important. But if they can't get that from the youth, right, because the youth drives decisions over time, how can they get information? Well, they said, let's manipulate the market. Let's manipulate our power. But first, let's do it after the announcement of TikTok, because everybody's happy right now. We're back on TikTok. Okay, China's cool. We love China. Man, but they want to get back that power. Number 2, they also want to target our tech infrastructure, because right now, our infrastructure is tech. This is our competitive advantage. No one is doing what we're doing from a tech standpoint. Quantum computing, our chips, they're not doing that. So they said, you know what? Let's create something that we know everybody's been using because everybody talks about on TikTok, ChatGPT. Let's create our own version of ChatGPT. And let's make an announcement that our own version of ChatGPT is going to be better than the American version of ChatGPT. And it's going to take less power than the American version of ChatGPT. It's going to calculate things faster than the American version of ChatGPT. And the biggest thing, we don't need to use as many chips, which is the biggest driving force for American technology today. NVIDIA, the hot stock, the stock of the decade so far. Not so much. Today, at least. Why, my friends? Because check this out. Look at this. Today, down 16.97%. Look at that drop. Again, NVIDIA, the darling of the stock market this decade, down 16.97%. Basically 17%. If I had $100,000, I woke up this morning, now I got 87,000. What? What happened with my NVIDIA? I know. Manipulation has happened because they knew how to get to the US from a tech standpoint legally is manipulate the stock market and manipulate the one powerful thing we have right now, which is tech. But everything was affected. Everything, right? TSM, we talked about Taiwan Semiconductor, down 13% as well. Our ally, the reason why we're saying, hey, y'all, don't invade China. I'm sorry, hey, China, don't invade Taiwan, is because the intellectual property they have with the Taiwan semiconductor chips. Now, if the value of that goes down or is not valuable, then, we're going to turn a blind eye. Now, and I know Trump ain't going to let that happen. He ain't going to turn no blind eye. He going to make sure they ain't invading nothing. And we're going to use all that intellectual property, move it to Austin, Texas, which they have about 40% of operations in now, and make sure that won't happen. But China is manipulating the stock market with fear. And when fear happens, people make crazy decisions. Another stock, right? Super Micro Computers, SMCI. Now it's been going down like crazy. It was at $102 a share literally in July. Now down another 12% at $30 a share. It's down by 70% over the past 6 months. I think it's a buying opportunity, but down by 12%. The manipulation is happening from China. Are they going to stop? We don't know. Probably not. But this goes to show you days like this, when companies try to manipulate a stock or countries try to manipulate a stock, we're going to do two things: roll with it or get rolled over. As a futurist, a person who looks into the future, who likes to, for his clients, invest looking at things 2 to 5 years, not 6 to 12 months, this is a amazing opportunity. Now, it's going to be some volatility. It's going to be some ups and downs along the way. But do we think that NVIDIA is not going to get back to where it was this morning? That's a 20%, 23% gain. We think super microcomputers won't get back to where it was back in July. That might take 2 years. But 2 years? Oh my goodness. Oh my, what happened to Virgil? 230%, 100 grand. It's now $232,000. We will be upset with that? Of course not. So yes, China is right now manipulating the stock market, but this is our time to reward ourselves for the craziness that's going on. And number three, the biggest thing, the reason why they waited, because they wanted to wait until Trump makes his first move. And we all know what happened the other day. Colombia, one of my favorite soccer players, Luis Diaz, my my Liverpool man. You'll never walk alone. He plays for Colombia and Liverpool, of course, but they did not take some of our migrants, immigrants that came here illegally. We shipped them back to where they came from. Colombia said, "We ain't taking them back. You better move that plane somewhere else." And Trump said, "What? Ninja, what?" Nah, I know he probably said the real word, but story for a conversation for another day. He said, You gonna tell me to do what? Okay. Tariff time. 25% today. Now, it was probably some backroom deals, right? He may have said that in public. It may have been some pick up the phone, baby. Some phone calls going on to make sure that things got done correctly, or some rub hands like Birdman, right? You do this, I do that. I'm gonna say one thing in public, but in private do something else. We don't know. And then he said, next week, if you don't land that plane in Colombia, it's another 50%. So you think about all goods and services that comes from Colombia to here being taxed, because the tariff is just a tax. If something costs $100, now it costs you $125. Think about if you got a 25% tax on everything that you bought for the next month. That would be crippling for most Americans, who literally 84% live paycheck to paycheck. Well, 2 weeks out, right? So paychecks to paychecks. That would be crippling. Now, for an economy like Colombia, that's not the best, not thriving like the US or Canada or even Mexico for that matter, that would cripple their economy. They said, "Oh, whoa, we'll take them." Now, again, what's going to happen with that? We don't know, but I'm pretty sure when that flight lands, it's going to be some pictures, some videos, and Trump, all in a video, is going to say something about it. But China wanted to wait till we showed our hand. They wanted to see if something happens, what is President Donald Trump going to do? He showed his hand. So now they know. Is it more tariffs? What else can he do from a power standpoint? We don't know that. But they wanted to wait to make this manipulation move until Trump showed his hand. And he did with Colombia. So they strategically manipulated the stock market. And that's why the market went down today. Now, it's two things that you could do as an investor. Just two things. Really, two things. Roll with it or get rolled over. That means we panic sell and sell things at a 15% down, like NVIDIA, like super microcomputers, like AMD down another 8%. Or do we buy low? Because the name of the game is buy low, sell high. Now, times like this, when the market's manipulated, it doesn't feel good. Don't you make it feel good to me? It does not feel good at all to buy something that went down like a hot potato. No, it doesn't. Not at all. But it does feel good. We look at that portfolio 6 months, a year from now, and see that gain. And we say, you know what? Because hindsight 2020 happens, right? When something's down, we buy it. We put our toe in, right? We got an extra $10,000 to invest. We only do $1,000. And then a year from now, you know what you're gonna say? You know what you're gonna say. I wish I did more. I'm not saying do all your cash. No, no, no. Of course not. But a portion. The portion that you have on the side to invest, you want to do that. Now, we have a rule with our clients that we do. This is the 20% rule. We don't go in, not all in, but we definitely put a nice amount in once we hit the 20% for a stock that we think is going to go back up. Not a penny stock, not a meme coin either, right? Not something crazy, but something like large cap like Nvidia, the best performance stock in 2020, this decade. You think that's going to keep on going down? Of course not. When is it going to get back to where it was? We don't know, but I am pretty confident that it will. So why wait until Trump and Jinping beef and it goes down a little bit more and then pops back up? Why not we get in now and then have a plan in place? If more manipulation happens and it goes down another 5%, I'm going to get in more. Or I'm going to diversify. I'm going to put some money in NVIDIA, but now I'll put some in super microcomputer. I'm going to put some in TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. I'm going to put some into AMD. I'm not going to do Intel though. Story for another day. Or maybe even a chip ETF that is a pool of all the chip companies in one investment, so you're not picking the winners or losers. That, my friends, is how we take advantage of the manipulation, if I can talk on this live. This is how manipulation works. Number one, we announced after TikTok, we all happy. The market's up all last week. The market did great last week, but China's just waiting. Rubs hands like Birdman. Number two, they target our number one infrastructure. It's like if they're fighting us with jets, what are they going to bomb? The weapons, the infrastructures, the roads, the bridges. And chips is our bridge to world domination. That and cryptocurrency, in my opinion. And number three, they wait till Trump shows his hand. They didn't make this announcement when Biden was in office because they knew Trump, saying would have ducked that like Floyd, that shoulder roll, uppercut it, they went on by his day. But they caught him off guard. Very, very smart, China. You have manipulated the U.S. stock market. But as investors, it's up to you to make a decision. Roll with it or get rolled over. I know I'm doing for myself and my clients. You need to choose. Before we get out of here, though, as always, like, share, subscribe to our channel. In real life, I am a certified financial planner. We manage over $250 million in assets. But on these YouTube streets, we give information even when I have a cold and I get my hair cut in 2 weeks. But it is what it is. I'm still coming off my Buckeye high. your boy was at the game last week, so I didn't want to wear my hoodie because I was, professional. But man, my Buckeyes national champions, my Liverpool soccer team, top of the league, Premier League, and Champions League. What a time to be alive, in the words of Drake. But Drake got his own issues right now. But again, like, subscribe, share to all our channels, share with your friends, roll with it or get rolled over. Don't get rolled over, y'all. Forget this manipulation. Tiptoe and get into the market and take advantage of this lifetime opportunity, because every day NVIDIA don't go down by 16%. That is what it is, though, y'all. All love, and let's make some paper profits together, y'all. Peace.
And you just wanna get paid, tired of making the money mistakes, make a payment on your bills and you still late, yeah, painful profits to help you seek change, and you just wanna get paid, yeah, tired of making the money mistakes, make a payment on your bills and you still late, painful profits to help you seek change, yeah, cut the show and just listen, you wanna feel empowered.